Welcome to the Guides Angle, a full-time fishing guide's view on all things related fishing, both fresh and salt water, where we discuss interactions with customers, the behind-the-scenes day-to-day grind, and even, yes, things we like and don't like within the guide business. I'm your host, Michael Littlejohn, with co-host Teri, and sit back now, relax, enjoy, and let's get right into this week's episode. Well, I am so glad to be back in the saddle, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long it's been since we've done our last recording, but
April.
It's getting ready to be April.
It's April. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's one of those things where we have a busy season.
We do have a busy season, and it was crazy.
We haven't learned how to do the podcast during the busy season.
No, you know why? It's because you guys are, running doubles. Like you run a morning trip, you get up, you run a morning trip, you clean fish, you grab something to eat really fast, you run your afternoon trip, you get home at 9:00 at night. And that's April, May, June, part of July.
Yeah. So, and then, you're in Port O'Connor for part of the time. It's just one of those things. But you know what? Hey,
yeah,
it's a busy, it like any business that has its peak season. Mm-hmm. Some businesses like, your plumbing and some, maybe, school teachers, but it's, our business has a extreme peak,
right,
busy time, and then it kind of, slows down a little bit. And to be honest with you, we're coming into December right now, and, the business, the fishing industry in itself slows down some. So
it does.
It's welcomed. We used to be worried about running every single trip.
That's before we figured out doing doubles. Doubles helps the guys kind of put some money in the bank, and you work really hard. And this time of year, the guys want to take off. They want to go, do family things, and they want to go hunting.
Jeremy and Chase are all, they're begging for a day to go hunt.
They crack me up.
Noel likes to have a few days off to play his Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I know Joey's he's enjoying, looking forward to Christmas break. There at Midlothian. So it's nice. But during that time when you're in full blown go mode, which is, April, May, June, July, and part of August, well, actually all of August really now, it's a lot.
It is. It's incredible, how hard you guys work. I know, cause I used to do it, but I'm doing a different side of it now, but it's just incredible.
Well, and another thing too, the gear, it's great for the boats to get a little bit of a break. It gives you a chance to do some maintenance on them. When those boats are running every day, you don't get a chance to tighten things up and, change things out that need to be changed out, things like that. So
that's true. And this time of year, when you guys do a lot of your maintenance, it's, when we can actually take some of these boats to the shop, and we use, what's Taylor's business called?
It's actually
This is a shout out to him, guys. He's
this
great.
is, actually we weren't planning on doing this, but Taylor Howard over at Lifetime Marine. He's down in Alvarado. If you're anywhere central Dallas, south, he's great. He's been in the marine business, the marine repair, sales, service, electronics. He's been in the business his whole life.
Right.
But he has recently stepped out on his own. I'm so proud of him for just, been twisting his arm for about 3 years now to try to get out on his own, but he finally has done it, and he's done it big. He didn't just do it and he's working out of his house. He went and he got him a really nice place on 35 south there in Alvarado. If you know where all the RV places are there in Alvarado, there's like a whole mile of RV places you can buy RVs and stuff. He's kind of just smack dab in the middle of one of those RV dealerships. He's right in between two of them. And so he does great. He does awesome electronics installations, anything to do with your motors, repairs.
Yeah, he just put 3 motors on our boats.
Yeah.
4. Well,
4 if you count the other one. So he does a great job. He's been doing a great work for years. And here's what's great about Taylor. Super honest.
Lifetime Marine, guys.
He's not gonna, you worry sometimes when you take your boat to a marine shop if you're really getting the work done that they say that you need and that kind of thing. And, unfortunately that's that business in some ways, but Taylor's not like that. If there's nothing wrong with it, or if there's something small wrong with it, that's what he's going to tell you is wrong with it. So
he's a pretty honest guy.
yeah,
Very honest,
very honest.
honest guy.
So
Yep. So Lifetime Marine, and he is in. Is that?
he's in Alvarado.
Alvarado.
Yep.
Alvarado, Texas, just
Alvarado.
south of between Fort Worth and Dallas.
Yeah, he's just south of Fort Worth. Anywhere that Burleson, Joshua, Everman, anywhere really Fort Worth.
So how often? I'm thinking about motors right now, since we just put 4 motors on boats. Like, how often do you normally swap out a motor on a boat for a guide?
Well, there's 2 schools of thought.
Yeah.
There's, we buy motors new, Yamaha motors with a guide, discount, or the guide program, if you will.
Right.
They give you 3 years of warranty.
That's Yamaha?
That's Yamaha. So, and that's what we use. We prefer Yamaha motors. So, we like to keep our motors about 2.5 years.
This is a really good tip. It's a really good tip.
Well, it allows you to resell your motors with warranty to the consumer, to the guy that's going to buy it from you, and they still get to buy under warranty. And it allows us to still get some money for our motors. It allows us to put fresh power on our boats, which I've learned over time, if you keep motors on the boats and you try to go the distance with them. Now this is different if you're a weekend warrior, if this is not what you do for a living.
Well, this is the Guide's Angle.
Yeah. So this is the Guide's Angle podcast. So this is a Guide's Angle of this view. If I just had a boat and I just ran it, 10 times a year, I may not do what I'm telling you that I'm doing, but these things get run almost every day. We switch them out every 2.5 years, put fresh power on them. We just don't have problems.
But I will say this, and this is a shout out to Yamaha. We have
we have a COVID motor.
We have this one motor that has been on the boat for, we literally should have sold it and swapped it out years ago, but we didn't. And it was a weird thing. COVID happened and all that. But now how many hours?
So this motor was
and it's still on our boat running good.
This motor was due to be switched out at the end of 2020.
That's crazy. It's 2020. It's almost 26, y'all.
Okay. And COVID happened.
Yeah.
And when it was time to get a motor on it, there were no motors.
Right.
Just wasn't a motor. If you wanted a motor, you had to buy a used motor from somebody else. Yeah. And so we're kind of forced with the whole idea of, okay, what do we do here? Do we buy a used motor and put somebody else's stuff on, on the boat, or do we, and the motor was in really good shape. So we went the distance.
It's crazy. So how many hours are on that motor?
So this motor is on our regular Blazer Bay center console. Mm-hmm. It's a 2016 or 17.
It's a 17.
I think it's a 17. Yeah, right at it. And it's 2025. Oh my goodness.
It's fixing to be 26.
Yeah, it's almost 9 years old, the motor is. And it has 4,500 hours on it.
No joke, y'all.
Yeah.
Ask Taylor at Lifetime. He'll tell you.
The only thing that we have done to this motor, other than change the oil in it,
which we're trying to be religious
Mike
about.
Thompson helped kind of tap the oil on the trim. Mike helped tap some new threads because the bolt had stripped out and it wouldn't hold oil, so it was getting water in the trim unit. So he fixed that to some degree. He got it as good as he could get it, and it's still working. Yeah. We did the timing belt, which is there's nothing wrong with the motor. We just did the timing belt for preventative maintenance. Mm-hmm. Taylor Howard has cleaned the injectors in it. And we've changed the spark plugs.
That's crazy.
That's all we've ever done to this motor.
Still kicking.
Yeah. Now I say this: we've gone through one lower unit in it.
Yeah.
So that's about 2,500 hours or so. We went through a lower unit.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of normal for those motors. The lower units typically don't go the distance like the motors do.
Yeah.
So but here's what I want to say about this. I don't know how we got on this, but this is the Guide's Angle. You never know which angle we're gonna go. And I bet I get some people that disagree with me here. So we don't run our motors hard. I've had mechanics pat me on the back and say, "That's why your motors last so long." And I've also had mechanics look at me straight in the face and say, "Those motors are made to run, and the carbon builds up in them. If you don't blow them out, run them at 4,500 to 5,000 RPMs for 2 or 3 minutes on your way in, that you're going to build carbon up in them." Well, okay. So I have owned motors and done both with both.
Right.
I have owned earlier year motors that I did what the mechanic said, which was blow out that carbon, run it at high RPMs for a short amount of time. And those motors I've had problems with. I've had problems with the motors, blowing the motors, those kinds of things. The motors now that we've been running for the last 10 years or so, we don't run over about 3,700 RPMs. So
Yeah.
ever. Like the
Yeah.
motors may go their whole
And
lives.
that's a big deal. Like when we, just in our meetings with our guides, we're always like,
Yeah, if you if
don't
you
run the
see,
motor.
the only time the exceptions to those rules within our small business is if you got a major thunderstorm that you're trying to outrun, then you need to get up and get in. Shouldn't be in that position in the first place, but things do happen.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if we've got schooling fish, schooling birds across the lake, we've got 2 or 3 other boats that we're trying to beat to get to those birds. We may rev it up for a minute or two
Yeah.
to get over there. But even at that, we're not wrapping it out.
Right.
So, but these motors literally go almost their entire lifetime with us and never go over 4,000 RPMs.
Yeah.
So,
And that's why when we do sell them, we have people waiting in line to buy them because they know that
Yeah.
we baby these motors.
we do. We take care of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a gentleman out of Louisiana that
Mhm.
owns it's a service company, and he runs these exact motors on all his service boats. And I have a standing order from him all the time.
Yeah.
Anytime I want to sell a motor, he is ready to buy the motor. So, and I mean, unfortunately, those poor motors, they thought they had it tough at our business. When those motors go on those work boats, he has 2 different shifts
Yeah.
of 8-hour guys, and those motors never stop running. So
That's
you got to
crazy.
think those motors go on a Louisiana, Venice, that area around, what's the big town? New Orleans. That greater New Orleans area got so much, work that is done on the water. And these motors go on those type boats, and they literally are hauling stuff across the inlets. They're doing stuff. So
That's cool.
Yep.
Well, that's good that someone else is getting good use out of them.
Yeah.
And they know they're buying good motors because he's buys our motors. So I think we did sell early back in the day. We were selling them to other people.
We did
but
early on.
now-
Yeah, early
now
on.
It's like
Yep. We sold a motor to Steve Douglas. Shout out to Steve Douglas.
yeah,
We sold a motor to a couple of dealerships out of Oklahoma.
yeah.
that
One
needed
guy,
motors.
remember that one guy, that really nice guy, came
Yep.
back and fished with us.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
can't
So
remember his name.
yeah, it's
Anyway.
been a good move for us. Keep fresh power on the boats. Seems like it's working good for us. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Well, let's talk about fall fishing because we are almost to winter. When's winter? January? When is winter technically in Texas?
I don't know. Somebody listening probably could tell us right now, but I would say
Well, what do you
that
guys think?
I would
We can look
think
back.
that winter, the first, I would think it'd be like mid to late
December?
December.
Yeah.
Once you Google
Sometimes
it,
it never felt because my phone's up there recording. Yeah, it seems like winter typically is December, but I don't know. Like today, the high is 43. Yesterday, it was in the 70s. So it's
yeah,
Texas.
if you
We
talk,
don't have much of it.
and the thing with Texas is with winter, it's defined differently everywhere. Like our buddies down around South Texas, look at Chet Reagan right now. Chet's down in Corpus.
We love Chet.
He was talking to him last night. Of course, he said they were waiting on a big cold front to come through today because it came through here yesterday. It'll hit them tonight or today.
Yeah.
But he's been in shorts and flip flops for the last 2 months.
I bet he loves that.
So but Texas is one of those places where you may have winter in North Texas, but you may not. Like, for example, the trophy blue catfish that we're coming into right now. We're going to talk a little bit about catfishing in general. We're going to talk about some of our comments on some of our live feeds coming up here in just a few minutes. If you want to talk a little bit about the controversial side of some of the things, I guess, that we do, then stick around. We're going to talk about those here in just a minute. But the winter catfishery that we have is so regional. If you go in the winter, if you go up to like Kansas, which is not that far north of here,
right.
It's about 400 or 500 miles. If you go up there, a lot of times they freeze over middle of the winter. So they've got to come south to either Oklahoma or Texas to fish.
Yeah.
Right. So, but here's the problem. A lot of our good friends that like Lake Livingston, look at like Michael Richardson and guys like that are fishing down around like Livingston, Conroe, the area around Houston, and even further south. There's some guys that fish in San Antonio, a little further south down around Canyon Lake. Those guys don't get a true winter fishery like we do. They may get a couple weeks of real quick, like super cold spells where they can dead stick and they can catch some winter trophy blues, but they're not getting the winter pattern setting up like we have that goes on for a long time.
Right.
Just because, another 4, 5, 6 hours south, it stays a lot warmer.
That's the one reason why I love Texas so much is because you get a little bit of everything. You get that hot heat that sometimes you like in the summer, when you go to the beach or when you're like swimming in the lake. And then you get this nice crisp 70s in the early spring. And then you get this spurts of cold. So you're not like up north where you're just like, it's winter. It's winter. Here, like, it's going to be cold for 3 or 4 days. It's going to be back up in the 60s. And it's going to be cold for 3 and 4 days. It's going to be back up in the higher 60s. It's
100%.
kind of like this roller coaster, which is why I love
We've been
Texas.
doing the trophy catfish thing now almost 15 years.
More longer than that. No, 15 years.
About 15 or
For
so,
us, yeah.
12 to 15. And here's just the truth about it. We get people ask us, we ask people all the time, because we have if you were to take a look at our entire year booking calendar, it's heavy March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah.
And November. This was the busiest November we've ever had.
This was definitely the busiest November we've had.
So December, January, February is a little slower.
But it used to not be.
Yeah.
Used to,
yes.
we didn't have an opening in all 3 months.
I remember people calling me around Christmas, like begging, to get in. I'm like, I don't know where to put you.
Well, there's a lot more.
But again, that was just a couple of us. Michael and I were working.
Yeah, and there's a lot more trophy catfish guides now that are doing it. The pie, I don't feel like we have very many more people wanting to do it.
Yeah.
And then the pie is cut so many. There's so many more slices in the pie. It's just watered down. But that's business. But what I was going to say is on the winter fishery, we get a lot of people who we fish with during the summer that I just basically just look at them and ask, hey, why don't you guys come back in January and catch one of these giant blues? And their answer is always the same. It's, man, I'm telling you what, I don't fish in the winter. I mean, I being on the water and getting sprayed and all this stuff, that doesn't sound like fun. But here's the truth about it. So many Januaries and so many Februaries, we're in hoodies and jeans and tennis shoes for most of the trip.
Shedding your hoodie at midday.
Yeah. So yes, are there cold spells? Yes. And when you book trips, do you get to choose the weather 2 months out? No, you don't. But I would say, based on what I know, especially in January and February, the odds are on your side if you did book a trip that you would not be in that Arctic plunge.
Yep.
But I will say this, some of my best days I've ever had.
God.
Do you remember the trip where I begged you to go out and I really wanted you to go out to get video, and we were fishing down there by the dams when the lake was real low? And it was just 2 guys that went out. And that day it was blowing like 25 out of the northwest.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I took you in early. I took you in.
I was like, heck
yeah,
no.
I took you in like 3 hours in, but it didn't matter. We'd already caught like 10 big fish. Then I went back out.
Yeah. They were catching fish after fish after fish.
That was John
They were
Weiss's
holding
brother.
3 fish at a time, just for a quick pick. There was land in the boat.
Well, one of those pictures where he's holding 3 ended up in a magazine. Because remember, he sent us the magazine. It was like In Fisherman or something.
Yeah,
But...
And that was like, the fish was like, because it was, he reeled one, his brother, I think it was his brother with him.
His brother, and no, this one was his buddy. John Weiss didn't go. It's John Weiss's brother, like John and it was his brother. Can't remember his name.
I know.
Right now, if he's listening to the podcast, we apologize. I don't remember your name. But
but we were like, he was catching them so fast, like there was like 3 in the boat in like a second. So we just like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but it's the bottom of the boat. Every time a fish came in, which was wet out of the lake, when the water got in the boat, within 2 or 3 minutes, that water froze.
Yeah.
And then you had so many fish coming in the boat and so many waves like hitting and just the spray coming up. Before you knew it, we had an ice skating rink. It was like something you'd see off Deadliest Catch.
It was crazy.
The ice. I remember that. I was taking one of my fishing rod and reels and like knocking it up against the side of the boat, trying to knock
you were dumping
ice.
them in the water, trying
We
to
were
melt the
dipping
ice
them,
off.
but then that
dipping 'em.
backfired because then it was freezing more. And I mean, it was just one of those things.
But it's not like that, y'all. So don't get the. It's great. It's
Typically,
great.
it's not.
Yeah, it's typically it's not.
So let's switch gears. Let's
Yeah.
talk about we went live. We're in the middle right now. So this recording is on December 1st. We've just come out of November,
Mm-hmm.
and one of our best times of the year to catch eating size catfish is November.
Yep.
And the first 2 weeks of December. It's awesome. It's also when some of our slower hybrid and white bass times are. So it really serves as a big filler for filling the coolers, a lot of fun, great eating, that kind of thing. So y'all follow us here. It's going to be pretty interesting. We'd love to see your comments in this video, kind of get your opinion on what you think. But we had a group. We do a lot of corporate trips, but this was a corporate trip that came in. They stayed at the lodge. They had it was a lot of their construction workers
20 guys
that
or
don't
so.
get a chance to fish a lot, but nonetheless they enjoy fishing. But more importantly, they love eating fish, and so
they had a big fish fry they were trying to do for the company.
Yeah. But to be fair, when I think it was Alex or whatever the guy's name is, the main guy, he reached out to me. We confirmed up the trip, give a start time and all this stuff, and he was like, "Hey, what are we fishing for?" You know, and when you run a multi-species guide service, you can ask that question because a lot of times people don't care what they catch; they just want to catch fish.
Yeah.
In this case, they didn't have a preference. They asked how the hybrid striper were biting. I said they were biting pretty decent, but not great, especially when you've got 4 or 5 guys on a boat times 5 boats or however many boats we had, maybe 6 boats. I don't remember. It was a lot. And so I made the recommendation. I said, look, if you guys are trying to catch a lot of fish and stay busy and you want to put some good table fare, I recommend doing the channel cat trip on the baited holes because we're absolutely killing them right now. And, you know, I think a cold front had blown through 2 days before. And it just was one of those things like if we were to gone and tried the white bass and the hybrids, there was a really good chance that we would have come in with fish, but it would have been a lot slower.
Right.
So anyway, long story short, we made the choice to go ahead and just dedicate all 5 boats. Let's just say there was 5 boats on the trip because I think that's how many there was.
It was 4 or 5, yeah.
Because I remember Brett helped out with us.
Yeah,
it was,
something
like that. But anyways, so we all go out. When we do these trips, it's a lot of fun. It's a super light tackle. We're fishing Mr. Whiskers punch bait. We're fishing in 10 to 20 foot of water. Like I said, really, really light tackle. And the fishing this time of year, the channel cats and the blues that are mixed in are bigger. And let me define bigger. You wanna
No, go ahead. Yeah. No, I mean, I
So-
know what,
So in the summer, a legal fish to us is 12 inches. We'll talk about what really legal according to Parks and Wildlife is, but 12 inches is what's legal. We prefer not to keep 12-inch fish because it's just hard to get a decent fillet off of them. You can do it. Heck, there's been times that we've had to keep 12-inch fish because that's, it was either 10, 11, or 12-inch fish on the hole, and that's what you had to deal with. But in this case, this time of year, you don't have to worry about that. Most of these fish are 13, 14, 15, 16 inches, a lot of fish in that 19 to 22, 23 inch range, 2.5, 3 pounds with a lot of decent blues mixed in. So anyways, long story short, we went out, all 5 boats, smoked them. I mean, every boat.
I don't think everybody limited out, but everybody got.
I think there was one boat that didn't get a limit.
Yeah.
But other than that, all the boats limited out. Limited out means it's 25 catfish per person per day. So the Texas Parks and Wildlife determines how many fish a person can keep per day. For instance, if we went hybrid fishing, it would have been 5 per person. A white bass would have been 25. In this case, it was 25 catfish per person. So everybody, we fished for 4.5 hours.
It was a crazy dock show, y'all.
We came in, coolers were pretty full. We laid out 375 or so catfish on the dock, laid them out, spread them out a little bit, got our group behind the pitcher and snapped the shot, had a great picture. And then we had to get all the fish from the floor back to the
The
table
tables, yeah.
to start cleaning them. Well, to do that, the easiest way to do it is to take snow shovels, and then we take them and we just real quick get two guys going real fast, and they load the coolers back up real quick, and then we just dump the coolers onto the table, and voila, you got an easy way to get them back up there.
Mhm.
Well, I think I did I do the video?
Yeah, you did it. You sent it to me, and I was like, oh, I can make a
Yeah.
quick
So we
little
did a
CapCut out
video
of that.
of Jeremy and Chase. I think it was Jeremy and
It was
Chase,
Jeremy and Chase, yeah.
that were shoveling all the catfish from the dock back into the coolers and then onto the table so we could start cleaning them for our customers. And I mean to tell you guys, here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, comments from all over the place.
Oh, we should read some. They were funny.
I mean, maybe.
You should be ashamed.
Yeah, that was one. You should be ashamed of yourself, Michael.
Depleting the lake.
You know what you're doing. That was one.
Yeah.
Depleting the lake. Really, this is, taking the resource that's, there was one guy talking about, this one was really one that rubbed me the wrong way.
Right.
Was he said that, he said something about, you're a guide and you're fishing a public water, public water and taking from the public, basically is what he's saying. Taking the public's resource as a guide, and I'm thinking, really? Like, okay. So I turned around and I asked him, I said, what would I have done differently to make it right as a guide taking my customers fishing?
Right.
Like, what would have been the right thing for me to do? Would it have been cut them off at 10 fish per person? If you'd have seen that on the dock, would that have made you feel better? Or, a lot of it was making comments about the size of the fish. Well, here's the deal. There's so many fish in Tawakoni and so many fish in a lot of these lakes, especially catfish, that Parks and Wildlife doesn't even put a regulation on the size anymore. If you want to keep a 6-inch fish to fry a hole, you can do that.
Yeah.
We self-impose a regulation of about 14 inches on these fish because really a 12-inch fish, you can get a fillet off of it, but you don't get much. But on a 14-inch fish, you get a good fillet. There were no fish in that pile, to my knowledge, that were below 14 inches. So what were you going to say?
Well, there were just so many fish. I think it's just kind of like shocking to people, and they go, you took all the fish out of the lake. Oh my God, you bad person. But I mean, when you look how many guys there were at 25 fish per guy, at 25 guides, there's no way we had even close to what, was a complete limit of fish. And it's just funny.
Here's something that
we knew we were going to get hammered, but bring it on.
I mean, here's the thing. And maybe people don't realize this. Let's talk about this for a minute.
Yeah.
How many catfish, like, let's just say not even blue catfish, how many channel catfish do people think are in these Texas reservoirs? It's the numbers like shockingly staggering.
Yeah.
Like they're literally creepy crawling all over the floor of the lake.
Yep.
In groves of tens of thousands.
And Tawakoni's how big? 30?
It's almost 40,000 acres.
Yeah.
It's like 38,000 acres. There's almost 300 miles of shoreline on the lake. There are so many, probably hundreds of millions of catfish in the lake. Matter of fact, it's so bad that two of our longtime fishing guides left Tawakoni years ago and went over to Fork because they feel like that our population is stunted because the population is so high that the channel catfish are a little bit smaller on average, which they are, than per se like a Fork that's not stunted, that has a little bit bigger fish. Our group fishing for channel catfish, there's really not a lot of people targeting the channel catfish. And therefore the population just really is out of control.
Yeah. Because literally, we do fish for them in the summer. We fish for the blues in the winter, and we fish for the channel some in the summer, like late May, June, July. But then, up until like November is when we really catch them really good.
Yeah. Yep.
But whatever.
It is what it is. But here's another thing too, is we are allowed as individuals, you're entitled to what the state says you're entitled to.
Right. Yeah.
And they're the ones that have drawn up the regs, the regulations. And here's the truth. The truth is this: on most trips, we don't encourage limits.
Do you really think we want to clean all those fish? I mean, really?
If you can get a limit and you want a limit
what?
because you want to eat
Exactly.
that many
That's
fish,
your right.
then you
That's
have
what you
that
pay for
right. And as a fishing guide, we're not going to discourage that.
No.
We actually offer, I think we're the only guide service on the lake that does this.
That always offers
we offer a discount to promote and encourage catch and release.
Yeah, we sure do.
If you want to go out hybrid striper fishing and you want to release all your fish and just,
we will give you a discount.
I had a trip the other day that was like that.
Yeah.
We caught almost 50 hybrids.
Yeah.
4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah.
And
I think everybody thinks I don't know. They just think that we're just raping the lake every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just so, it's not really frustrating, but it's just like, come on. And here's me though. I'm not on social media a lot. I'm less than average probably. And I literally would not sit behind my phone or my keyboard and say the nasty things that people say. I just don't understand it. And it's like they're just trying to say something.
What part do you not understand?
I don't understand why you would do that.
Okay, so you're
don't
talking
say nothing.
about,
if you can't say something nice, keep your mouth shut.
Okay, so you're talking about
just in general,
having somebody else that you may not even know see someone else's stuff that they don't know.
Yeah.
And then just randomly make a negative comment.
Yeah, social media, you can do what you want. And if you don't like it, don't post. I'm going to post. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But I just think
I see what you're saying.
I just don't get why people do that. I guess.
Well, let's ask the people watching the podcast. Why have you ever made a off-color comment to someone else's post? And if so, maybe why did you do that? Did you feel like maybe they feel like the comment is going to change our mind, or it's going to open our eyes to something that we just don't see?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe, but when you say you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about.
You're raping
I don't
the lake,
care about little comments like that fish is too little, whatever. Yeah, it is too little. Or it's not too little, whatever. But the whole just, you should be ashamed and trying to throw the Bible at us. And it's just like, what? Yeah. Really?
Well, here's another thing. Here's something else you got to remember.
Yeah.
Is that I don't think people are used to seeing fish shoveled up with snow shovels.
Yeah, they're not.
And dumped into coolers.
I agree with that.
And if here's what's funny. If that would have been a group of 4 people with 100 fish, their limit.
No one would have said a word.
No one ever would have said a word. But because there was 20 or 25 people with their limit, then they had something to say. You know what I mean? So it's real relative to what people's perception is.
True.
And,
it is.
So
I don't know. It didn't really bother me. I guess right now it looks like it bothered me, but it really didn't bother me.
I think it bothered you.
It happened and then I forgot about it. But they weren't calling my name, but they were like, Michael, you should be ashamed of yourself. Just like,
yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think one of the comments that got me was, I can't believe, you're making your living on a public resource, in a lake, in a public body of water, and raping it, taking it, down and, catching all the fish out of the lake and things like that.
Yeah, whatever.
So
whatever. Bring it on. Say what you want to say.
I don't know.
We don't really.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, actually.
Well, speaking of catfish, I didn't realize this was going to turn into such a big catfish.
I know, right? Because we're killing the hybrids right now too. Like if you want to go hybrid fishing, we're not trying to promote book a trip with us, but even if you're not fishing with a guide, the hybrid fishing's great right now.
Hybrid fishing is going to be good for probably another, I would say, 6 weeks.
Why don't you do a fishing report really quick? Because we haven't done one in a minute. You do them for Parks and Wildlife, but we haven't done a live report.
Well, so let's start with the hybrids and stripers. They are right now, over the last week and a half, they've been really consistent. That water temperatures finally got down into the mid to lower 60s.
So
It's
what is the water temperature right now?
well,
Like 6?
yesterday it was 63, 64 on the main lake.
Yeah.
It got down to what, 30, 31 last night. So it's probably, it doesn't,
Come down a couple
people don't
degrees.
realize that it takes a long time to get these water temps, down a lot,
Yeah.
but it's probably still about the same, maybe 62, 63, who knows.
Yeah.
Hybrid striper bite's been good. They still haven't moved off the structure. They're still on structure. So, if you're going to target them, you definitely want to look on structure. Your white bass are the same. They're in that 6 to 21, 22 foot of water, depending on, where you go. The RSR lures are still kicking butt. We're catching them on swim baits pretty good.
So fun.
A-rigs are catching some fish. The slabs, the Littlejohn slab from RSR lures has still been the ticket. Big shout out to Billy Rogers. I saw Billy sent me a photo yesterday of some Littlejohn slabs that he converted over to single hook rigs, and is catching a ton of fish on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and not having
he's not using trebles, or he's just using
he does well. He doesn't keep fish. So,
Oh,
and he says that,
that's cool.
yeah, he says that he feels like he gets a little more action on the slab, and obviously he doesn't tear their mouth up near as bad. They're easy to get off. So
Yeah, that's cool.
maybe something that we might experiment with a little bit and put a single on, and
Yeah.
and see how they do, see if we miss any fish or whatnot. But
Mm.
that's been good. And Jeremy, one of our guides, Jeremy Robinson, he caught he had a really nice trip. Was it yesterday?
2 days ago.
It was 2 days.
It was Wednesday.
It was 2 days.
3 days ago.
Yeah, it was 2 days ago or so. He fished with Danny Escobedo, and they did really good. He had a really nice striper. Actually, I saw in his box he actually had a couple nice striper. So the striper is still around. There was a big stigma. Let's talk about this for just a minute, and then we'll keep our fishing report going. But there was a big stigma that the Texoma boats took all the fish. Took most of the fish. And while they took a lot of fish, my team was talking about it. We hadn't seen a lot of hybrid over the last month and a half. We just hadn't. We've been looking for them, seeing a lot of white bass. We don't know where the hybrids were hanging out, but they weren't hanging out where we were for the most part. And we started really questioning, because we knew there was probably in the upwards of 15 to 20, 25,000 hybrid that were taken out of the lake over in May and June.
And kudos to them. I mean, they came down here and worked their butts off.
For the Texoma guys that came down and caught fish, which was a testament to our lake and a testament to like Jake and the guys over at Parks and Wildlife.
Yeah.
We had a lot more fish than I thought we had. So these lakes, guys, these lakes have a ton of hybrid in them. If your lake is being stocked with hybrid and you're not catching a lot of hybrid, but you're looking at the stocking records and they're up there, I'm just going to challenge it. Change up how you're looking for fish. Talk to some people maybe that are catching them, because you've got fish.
Yeah.
There are times.
And those are put and take. The hybrids are stocked by Parks and Wildlife.
Yeah, they're stocked as a put and take fishery. But, there's an argument that if you don't take them, they do grow and get bigger. You're not going to get more of them because they don't reproduce unless they're stocked. But the point is that you have more fish than you think you have. Yeah. And let me prove that. There are months that Lake Tawakoni is literally, in the months, I'll tell you right now, they're typically February and March.
I already know.
That literally, if you were to be new to our lake and you showed up and you want to go hybrid fishing and you were a very good hybrid fisherman, you would show up at Tawakoni on a full lake, maybe on a lake that's really low. It's a different story, but on a full lake, like it's been the last 10 years, you would never find a fish, hardly. You couldn't get them called to your boat. You couldn't find any groups of them. You would literally think that the lake doesn't even have any hybrid in it.
And we do this every year. We're like, where do they go?
And
where
then,
do they go?
Find a few up in the river. But I mean, we have tens and literally tens of thousands of them, and they vanish. It's like they literally go in a hole under the lake and they pop up like at Richland Chambers.
What if they just go dig in the mud like a catfish?
And just burrow up like in a colony, like a tile fish out in 1,000 foot of water. Who knows? But the point is that there are times that these fish just disappear, and they're very hard to find, even with some of the best fish finding equipment and everything else. So if you're frustrated on your home lake, just keep looking. I'll tell you something to do is find somebody that's really good at finding hybrid and is a good hybrid fisherman. Have them go over to your lake, especially in like April, May, and June, and have them find those fish for you because they probably just are in areas you're not looking. These
Yeah, that's
hybrids,
true.
they love to be out in open water. Believe it or not, um, they love to be in open water. And that's a place that it's very hard to find fish because if you got a lake, like let's just take, for example, like Lake Whitney, for example. Lake
Right.
Whitney is full of striper. And a lot of those striper, most of the months out of the year, are caught out in open water. Now, different devices are used to bring them to the boat, but nonetheless, they are caught in open water. The hybrid is half striper. It's half white bass, it's half striper. So it has a genetic responsibility, a genetic vulnerability to open water. And most people are fishing like Cedar Creek, Richland Chambers, Tawakoni, Palestine, a lot of these lakes that have good hybrid populations, they're not always looking in the right places to find them.
Yeah.
So
The same thing is like in trophy season. It's funny how people will come down and do really good on tournaments that they, when they had them on, not as many tournaments anymore, but when they used to have lots of trophy catfish tournaments, here we are fishing every single day on the lake. And then someone comes from out of state and then they, win the tournament. They do really good, catch a lot of big fish. And it's like,
yep.
They're looking at places that you just don't think about.
Oh, I'll never forget some of the Kansas guys that came down.
Yeah, smoked us.
Many years ago.
Smoked us.
And it was, I think, Marty Gerloff, or
I can't remember.
It's either Marty or it might have been, I think it was Marty.
And then we just don't have that when we might have 1 or 2 tournaments a year now, but Tawakoni used to have lots of catfish
I think a lot of it has to do with just the pressure and the, the fishing just being, different. But what I was going to say about Marty, I watched him scan, and I mean, he was, and I'd been on fish. Yeah, but I wasn't, I'm not going to be the kind of guy. And those guys don't reach out to me and say, hey, man, where are all the fish at? No, and I'm not just reaching out to them on Messenger saying, hey, here's where all the fish are. Exactly. But it amazes me how some of those guys can get to the lake on like a Wednesday and dissect the lake Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Thursday, Friday, and then hang up in fish that are nowhere near where I was fishing and catch them really good. It just shows you, A, how much more I got to learn, and B, how many more fish we have in different places that you just don't think to look. Yeah. So it's actually exciting. It's why one of the reasons why we always come back. Yeah. And keep trying harder,
And if you've never caught a trophy catfish, I mean, we consider a trophy anything over 20 pounds.
Anything 20 pounds and bigger is a trophy catfish on Lake Tawakoni. Yeah.
If you've never done that, I mean, it's so much fun. Especially if you don't get to do the offshore thing or the coastal thing or, fish for saltwater fish, bigger saltwater fish. It is, golly, they pull string. It's so much fun.
They really do. And I mean, there's those trophy catfish sometimes pull the string as hard or harder than a lot of the fish we catch at the coast.
I know, right?
And
when I was fighting that amberjack a few years ago, I remember thinking, this is like a trophy catfish on steroids.
Yeah, that one might be a little harder to pull in than a trophy catfish.
Yeah, that took me a while, like 30 minutes to pull that amberjack in.
I will say this. I think I might have said this before on a podcast or not. I'm not sure. But so I would take your biggest categories of different types of trips that we run. We run a high energy hybrid striper trip that we get a lot of people that get excited about. Of those. We run white bass trips, which are fun because it's a lot of fish. You come in with a lot of fish, or you can catch and release a lot of fish. The channel catfishing is a lot of fun because, on a trip, you're going to set the hook 100 times. Yeah. And then there's the shallow water eating blue trips that we run in late March and April that are in knee deep water, and you got 10 rods out and you're running around just reeling fish in and just having a ball. Yeah. But of all the trips that we run, none of them get the excitement and the awe factor of the fish like the trophy catfish. Yeah. If we caught the lake record, customer caught the lake record hybrid last year, handed it to him, and his reaction was priceless. It was awesome. Yeah. He caught the holy grail fish. Right. But if he would have caught the lake record blue cat, his reaction is so much more. My point is this: there's people just really are in awe when you lay those giant fish in their arms and they're sitting there looking at them knowing this fish is 20, 30, 40 years old. So crazy. Yeah. And you're just like, me personally, I'm still in awe. I still giggle like a teenager every time I see someone catch one because it's so crazy. It's so cool. But
It's a lot of fun. So whether you fish with us or you fish with another guide or you get out and do it yourself, you got to do it. It should be a
And
bucket
I've been
list.
seeing a
It's
lot of
really cool.
pictures floating around social media here in the North
Mhm.
Texas area.
Yeah.
A lot of lakes.
Well, you just ran a trophy trip. You had 9 big fish,
Yeah,
right?
Jeremy had some. I had some. We had a 65-pound flathead.
That was
We had a
crazy. Those are big old fish.
42-pound blue. We lost a big fish, and we caught like 6 more
Yeah.
in the,
Those
15 to
10 days
30-pound
ago or
range.
so, yeah.
Yeah, and
But we
Jeremy
really
had
get
some
ramped
good
up in
ones, too.
December, January, February.
Noel's got a trophy trip coming up next week. We're busy this time of year running a lot of meat haul trips,
Mhm.
a lot of hybrid striper, white bass
Yeah.
trips.
God, yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we don't roll into the trophy thing so quickly.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of great fishing
Yep.
right now for some of the other species that we target on a regular basis. So
That's true. So the hybrid striper fishing's great. Trophy catfishing's getting good. Like I said, he caught quite a few fish. The white bass bite has been great. I mean, it's never not been great.
It's
phenomenal.
great right now.
Yeah.
If you like the chunk and wind lures,
if
you like to catch them on light tackle, right now is a great time to do that. It will end probably in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
now water gets really cold.
When I say end, I shouldn't say that. It'll transition into a different style bite,
right,
which is just as fun, if not more fun.
We need to do a podcast on what we do in the winter.
On dead stick?
Fish, yeah.
I don't know if anybody wants to even know anything about dead
I
sticking.
don't know. If y'all want to know something about dead sticking, just comment on here. We'll see. We'll see about that.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Again, it's trying to get people out in the winter.
Yeah.
To catch fish.
Yeah.
Maybe what we need to do is we need to take all our boats and put canopies on all our boats and heaters in every boat, and then no one has to be out in the elements the whole trip.
I don't think it would matter.
Then
I
when we're
don't
cleaning
think
fish,
people think about fishing in the winter.
Yeah, they don't.
I just don't think they do.
Yeah, a lot of
they
people
got
don't.
holidays. They got I think after Christmas, after deer season, in January and February. I think mostly February, people start getting an itch to want to just be on the water. You know? So and February's pretty cold.
Hey, speaking of on the water, we have today's December 1st. That means in 10 days, me and the guys go down to Freeport to go chase some giant yellowfin tuna.
If the weather allows.
Yep.
If it doesn't, then we're going to have to go flounder fishing. Darn it.
I know. Messing that. Unless our grandbaby's born.
Yep.
So.
And we're waiting on him to come on in.
That young Luke could come into the world any day. So.
Yeah. We're excited about that.
You just never know.
I'm so excited. Our first grandson. So we have 2 granddaughters. So this will be our first grandson.
I can't wait.
I know. He's going to be so cute.
I can't wait. Hey, something that I wanted to mention, and then we're coming up on our hour mark, but we've got some apparel that we need to sell. It's been around for a little bit, and we've got some polos, some really nice hook polos that have the Tawakoni logo on them. And while we've sold a ton of them, we got a little crazy when we ordered them and ordered about 100 too many. So if you do come and fish with us over the next few months, check out the polos in the store. They're awesome. They're short sleeve black, and then we've got some different colors. So check those out. We've got a brand new batch of hoodies that came in.
Yeah.
We've got Twalk hoodies back in stock.
Open Water Lodge hoodies.
What else do we have in the store?
Hat. I mean, we got lots of stuff. Some of the stuff's discounted a little bit though, like the summer stuff. So
hey, and speaking of discounts, December 1st is today. Don't we have some specials coming up on the lodge?
On lodging? Well, if you December, January, and February, we do offer a discount. I think it's already discounted on the website. So when you go to book, you'll notice that your discount.
What is that discount?
I think it's like 10 or 15% off, something like that. I don't remember, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know. I put it in there months ago to start December 1st, so I'd have to go back and look at it.
Okay. Well, the point is that if you do come out and fish with us and you want to stay at the lodge, you got some really good things going for you. When you cook out, you don't burn up now. It's actually nice outside when you cook out. And B, our lighted fishing pier is on fire right now.
Oh my gosh.
We are seeing
it's hard to keep him from going up there every night.
Great catches right now on our lighted fishing
Insane.
pier.
Lots of hybrids, lots of big yellow bass.
It'll be that way.
I had the lake record yellow bass the other day, but he made me throw it back.
Well, we were busy catching fish.
I know. I was like, okay, there you go. It's fine. That was fun.
So,
yeah.
Beach, you want to check that out. If you do have a trip booked with us and you're staying with us, bring your tackle. They're hitting like chrome and blue or chrome and black rattle traps, the medium size, like the 1/2 ounce rattle traps. Yeah. Also bring a dip net because the water is down a little bit, and that you catch a 4 or 5 pound hybrid, you try to boat flip them up to the dock, you're going to break.
The catfish bite's good off the pier also. Anywhere off that bank there, it's been really good, especially if the wind's kind of coming anywhere near us. It's been really good. Yep. Wind doesn't typically blow in there, but if it's blowing on this side of the lake, it kind of rolls that way, brings the bait over and the whatever else that's in the lake.
I think on this next episode, which we need to do pretty soon, like sooner than later. Maybe
we're
going
to try, but
we need to talk about the boats that we just built.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
And catch everybody up. I would love to have a podcast, an episode where we talk about
that would be good.
How we bought it, what we did to demo it, how we rebuilt it, all of the crazy stuff.
Yeah, we were
Jeremy getting in the bottom of the boat, getting all the foam out of it.
Yeah, we'll save all that for the podcast.
I think it would be a fun podcast to talk about. It would
be something cool to talk about. Yeah.
So
it would be really cool.
You look like to me you're getting tired and ready to go.
I don't know. It's you drink this, which I drink one a month, y'all. And I was like, oh, you drink this, and then 30 minutes later you're like, I'm crashing.
Instead, what you do is you drink your coffee, and then you're all
it's the same
like
way.
Me. I'm wide open now.
I don't even know why I grabbed it. I was thirsty and grabbed it.
I want to go build the house right now.
Whatever. That's funny. So, all right. Well, you want to end it on this note of we'll probably do another podcast the next couple weeks. And if we don't, you guys have a Merry Christmas. We hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We are so blessed. We're so thankful for all of our friends and family and our business and our guides. And just, there's so much that I could sit here and mention how thankful we are. And,
we definitely have the best guides in the state.
Absolutely.
They absolutely, give everything they have to give them, making customers happy, which is
they do.
all we can ask. So
they really do.
Yep.
They're such good guys. So, anyway, we're definitely blessed. So thank you.
All right. Well, until next time, you guys take care, be safe.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all on the water.
Bye. Hey, I just had a great idea. This is why I